What he did, how many of those executive orders, and the impact of them, huge. Can't be matched. Has never been matched. Absolutely groundbreaking. But we also got to talk about the way he did it. He did it at the Capital One Arena, an arena that is designed for hockey games and basketball games, NBA games. And they had to move indoors, the parade, because it was like super cold. It was like 15 degrees in DC yesterday, where the parade would have been. And so, you know, it's one thing. This is a great testament, by the way, to the Trump administration incoming, that they can shift on the fly like this in 48 hours and say, oh, we can't do the parade on Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, let's do this. And suddenly, not only did they set up this really cool stage, like viewing platform for the family and the dignitaries, and they actually did a bunch of the parade on the floor of the arena. But while they're at it, it's like Trump's like, oh, we got a stage here and we got 20,000 people. Hey, let's bring in a prop desk and let's sign these executive orders in front of 20,000 screaming MAGA maniacs and see how that goes. And we're going to show you how that went in a minute. So he signed a bunch of those executive orders there. He also signed them in the Oval Office. When he was done with the parade, he got to work, went straight to the office. He didn't get a little, foot massage, but from his wife or, from Hunter's girlfriend, and sit in the spa like the former guy did, or get, some kind of injections to keep him awake. He went right to the office that had already been redecorated for him. And he brought the media into the Oval Office. And then as he was signing the executive orders, he started talking about him and answering questions from the media. He answered more questions in his first day than Joe Biden answered in the first year of his presidency. Take a look.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Yeah, that's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in the course? That one is likely to be challenged.
Could be. We think we have good ground, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see. We think we have very good grounds.
Sir,
people have wanted to do this for decades.
Sir, this is a proclamation declaring
All right, that's birthright citizenship. And he's right. This has been talked about for decades. Typical Trump. Talked about, debated, promised, just like the wall on the border. I'm old enough to remember both Bushes who ran for president saying that they were going to secure the border, and neither of them did. Trump just, through an executive action, the headlines will be he ended birthright citizenship. He did not end birthright citizenship. He signed an executive order saying that we're ending birthright citizenship. There will be a lawsuit triggered immediately, if not already. Ultimately, birthright citizenship, if it's ended, will be ended by the Supreme Court of the United States. This executive order is the first step in that process. There will be a lawsuit. It'll go to a federal judge. It'll go to an appeals court, and then it'll go to the Supreme Court. But instead of waiting a year and having his lawyers think about it and come up with the right language, they've had the last 4 years to figure this out. That's why they were so ready today. So like you just heard, he's talking to the reporters about birthright citizenship. And the reporter says, well, this is probably going to get challenged. He goes, yeah, we'll see. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's go. It's game on. All right. So that's birthright citizenship. Then back to the arena now. Here's what it looked like when he signed.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
There you go. There's the meme. We got a new version of that meme now. You can put whatever you want on the executive order that you see that he just signed. Can I pause for a minute here? I want to talk about the way he did this. We Americans, especially we Republicans, conservatives, we like to low key it. Up until Trump, we kind of like to low key things. And we like to say, oh, we don't do that sort of showmanship. That's not like us. We're just get down to business, right? We're not like Bill Clinton with the saxophone. We're not like Barack Obama, acting all cool. No, we need to do that. We have to understand that there is a theatricality to the pomp and circumstance of the presidency and the executive branch. You know why we have a president? When we first won the revolution, you'll remember we had the Articles of Confederation. We didn't have an executive branch. We didn't have a head of state. We're like, oh, no, it'll just be the people with our legislative, like Rome. We'll just have the Roman Senate. Well, let's not forget what happened in Rome. They ended up with an emperor too, because people like having a head of state. They like having an individual who represents us as a people. And the presidency was born out of the idea, and let's face it, they were all influenced by the monarchy in England, right? Which is all about pomp and circumstance. George Washington got that. George Washington designed his uniforms. He made sure that he looked a certain way because he was representing the people on the world stage. And when he would go into a town to visit one of the states, colonies now turned states, he would make sure that he was riding on his most magnificent horse because he represented the presidency of the United States. The theatricality of Donald Trump sitting in an arena with 20,000 people cheering on these common sense executive orders. It's not only great for the people in that arena, it's not only great for the people who voted for him, but this is what we always lose sight of. It's great for everyone in the country, even people who disagree, because they see that and they think, maybe I'm wrong. All of these people love this. All of these people think this is right. Let me tell you something. The liberals in this country and people in the media and your academics, they will probably all agree that John F. Kennedy was a brilliant president. He was such an important president, a groundbreaking president. Even in just his 3+ years, he did so much in this country. John F. Kennedy barely won the presidency. You look at his inauguration parade. I was looking at a video of his inauguration parade and look at the stuff, the speech that he gave. Snob, what your country can do for you. All of the stuff that he did immediately in the first 6 months of his presidency that were pretty big and were pretty radical and huge new ideas. And he won by this much. In fact, some people think he didn't even win, but Lyndon Johnson cheated in Texas and Mayor Daley cheated in Chicago and found the votes for him. But did he like shrink into the office? Did he back in saying, well, it's a divided country, so I'm just going to try to accommodate and I'll only do a little bit? No, Kenny was like, screw it. I got a beautiful wife. I got great hair. I'm going for it. And he did it in a theatrical, attractive, dramatic way. The theatricality of the executive branch and the chief executive of our government is so powerful. And this guy gets this. And that's what we saw yesterday. All right, I got more. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this was so huge. I mean, right? You want to see all of this, don't you? It was such a big day, and there's no way you could have seen it all. All right, back to the Oval Office with the media assembled.
I said, I can live with most of them. They took a very safe route. They don't have any bad ones up there.
Withdrawing from
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization.
Ooh, that's a big one.
I love the ongoing commentary, but also in between, someone was asking him, tell me about how you decorate. He's like, oh, yeah, I haven't really seen much. Oh, I like the George Washington. Yeah, I can live with most of these choices. I do like all the challenge coins behind him on the desk behind him, too. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going in the Oval.
President Trump, did President Biden leave you a letter?
Oh, this is a great moment. So they're sitting there at the Resolute desk, and understand, Trump had just gotten there, and they brought the media in. So he hadn't even sat around. And Peter Ducey of Fox News says, there's a tradition that the outgoing president leaves a note for Donald Trump, for the incoming president, right? Obama left one for Trump. Trump, I guess, left one for Biden. F you. And then I guess Biden left one for Trump. But where is it, right? And what color crayon did he choose? So Ducey says, did President Biden leave you a note? Watch what happens.
He may have. Wait. Don't they leave it in the desk? I don't know. Oh,
What's in there?
thank you, Peter. It could have been years before we got it. Wow. Thank you.
What does it say on the outside?
Maybe we should all read it together.
Let's read it.
Well, maybe I'll read it first and then make that
That
determination.
sounds great.
Peter, thank you very much. I may not have seen this for months.
Happy to help with the passing of the torch.
I did. I left him one in the desk just like this.
What are you talking about with him?
Unification of our country. I didn't know that he gave a pardon to his family because he did it during my speech.
He didn't tell you in the limo?
No, he didn't tell me. No. He did it. They released it during my speech. During my speech. So all I could do was say, excuse me, I'd like to come back and speak some more. So no, we were surprised by that. It's bad precedent, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, thanks to Newsbusters for the clip. That's a great moment, isn't it? I wish he had read the speech there, that read the note right. Don't you? Oh, in fact, hang on. We've got a better angle on this too, which makes it even cooler. Somebody else was taking a shot in the media pool with their cell phone. Take a look.
Oh,
What's in there?
thank you, Peter. It could have been years before we got this. Wow. Thank you.
Can you read family outside?
Maybe we should all read it together.
Let's read it.
Can we know?
Maybe I'll read it first and then make that
That
determination.
sounds great.
Peter, thank you very much.
That's very cool. It makes you, I wish he had read the letter. It would have been very cool to see. Don't you wonder? What do you think? You know what? Tell us in the comment section down below what you think was written in the note to Donald Trump from Joe Biden. Or actually, let me rephrase the question. What do you think Jill Biden wrote in the letter on her husband's behalf? Because we know that Biden can't write a letter. He can't compose an actual letter in any way whatsoever. It was Jill. Jill wrote it. Maybe Hunter. We'll see. All right. A little bit more here. More executive orders. We're still in the Oval Office.
And public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that and it implicates other executive powers as well.
Yeah.
President Trump, if cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Mr. President,
And that was actually-
sure that Maduro would accept Venezuelans.
Say it.
How will you make sure that Maduro will accept Venezuelans?
Well, we're going to see in Venezuela. We're looking at.
And
You got that question and answer. If the drug cartels are a terrorist organization, can you see sending special forces into Mexico to take care of them? And his answer was a very wry little tilt of the head. Stranger things have happened. I feel like I've told you this. I can't remember if I said it on this show or on my morning radio show, but I would bet within the first 6 months of the presidency, we will have special forces in Mexico. And Mexico will be assisting with us in taking out those cartels. It's the best thing that Mexican government and the Mexican military are incapable of doing it, clearly. They need our assistance. That's why they're going to work with Trump on border security, remain in Mexico policies, and other aspects, because they want the cartels gone too. And it is going to take, and it's a job for our military, sadly, but we have a great military and they're good at this kind of thing. And it will be taken care of. And so I found that to be one other thing here. Back to the arena. I can't overstate this. The theatricality of what he did here, signing those executive orders, getting that room. Yes, it was full of MAGA supporters, right? But this was shown worldwide what he was doing here with all of these executive orders and setting the agenda for his presidency and having them all cheering the way they did. And then he did something that only Trump can do. It was the greatest because, again, remember the setting, a sports arena where they do basketball games and hockey games. And when he was done with the executive, you've seen these ceremonies where they sign the thing and then they hand it to the speaker and the minority leader and the Senate majority leader and this lobbyist and they all get a copy of the pens that were signed the thing into law because it's a great memento, right? So who got the pens? Who got the pens that he just used for the people's executive orders, the things that we voted for? You know who got the pens. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We've never seen anything like it. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. Soak it in right now, today, and for the next 4 years, because who knows what comes next. All we know is we banded together over the last year, over the last 4 years. We kept our head down. We kept our focus. We kept together. We didn't get distracted by the media. We didn't get distracted by all the distractions we had 4 years ago. We won this. And now, finally, we can set this country back on straight. Soak it in. Increased tariffs on our trade partners, that's on the table. Tax cuts, that's on the table. Regulation changes, already saw some executed yesterday. Learn why gold is a viable diversification tactic now more than ever. Birch Gold, the only gold company, I always say company, but I do endorse other companies. But they're the only gold company I endorse, damn it. They're the only gold company I endorse. They're a viable diversification tactic now more than ever. I endorse them because they've got this brand new ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. You got to get this book because guess what? We're in the Trump era. You got to get the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era with a foreword written by Donald Trump Jr. That name sounds familiar. Get your free copy along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold. Just text my name, Larry, to the number 989898. Larry, Larry. How else would you spell Larry? What are you, a Canadian? 989898. We got a national debt that continues to increase. We got interest payments on the national debt. They continue to increase. Gold is still your hedge against a weakened dollar. Birch Gold, still the company I love to convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Not a penny out of your pocket. Text Larry, Larry, the American way, not the Canadian way. Larry to 989898. Get your free copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. No obligation, only information.